All right, shalom, fam, shalom, y'all, shalom. I do a little bit of running around this rising, but I'm here. Y'all, shalom, General Yosef, Big Buddha, Auntie Michelle, what's going on? All right, Big Buddha Cole, what's going on, man? I got a couple more things to set up, and then we're gonna get rolling. But praise Yah. Let's get some music going. Y'all shalom. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you up now, Bruder, unless you busy. But I reckon you could just, mute your mic and all that. Get all that out the way. Per usual.
Hot water system.
Right. Let's see. I'm gonna let this play. All right. Now let's get into it.
I see how they moving. I see it. But I'm nothing like them. Nothing. Hey. Go. I don't blend in with the rest. Got my own path that I follow. It's Yahuwah at the steering wheel. I be going in full throttle. I was sick of living life hollow. Now I see the future super clear. No more self-doubt, time to elevate. There's nothing that I fear. I see the difference. I know that I got a purpose. Put in the time and the energy. For so many years I've been searching. How can I roll with the crowd? I'm hearing a voice, I'm hearing it loud. I was in the dark, I figured it out. Elevating, it ain't no coming down. I am defining my life. It ain't no shame in the moves that I make. I'm never losing my faith. If you ever felt like I'm feeling it, you can relate. Yahuwah, no one can replace. Put my back against the wall, I'm speaking the truth. Gotta stay focused and stay on the course. I promise that's really all you need to do. I am not one of them ones. Don't compare me to none. Yahuwah giving me power. Get ready, cause here I come. Got the drive in the heart.
Alright, y'all shalom. What's going on, SJ? Y'all shalom, everybody coming in.
Focused on a bigger plan, even if they don't see the vision, even if they don't comprehend. Walking in the path he laid, so you know I'm about to win. I found my lane, I'm rolling in it. Still, you know it ain't a limit. And Yahuwah rolling with me. Got the passion and it's in me. Chosen, that's the way I'm feeling. Got a power unlike any. Make some noise, I know you hear me. Yeah. Ain't no way that I'ma fail. I can never take no L. Got Yahuwah rolling with me, so you know I will propel. That's the vibe that I've been on. You can see I'm doing well. Not the average, nothing like the rest. You couldn't tell. Time for elevation. Tell me why you wait. Okay. Yahuwah gonna make it happen. It ain't no debate. Time for elevation. Tell me why you wait. Yahuwah gonna make it happen. It ain't no debate. I am not one of them ones. Don't compare me to none. Yahuwah giving me power. Get ready, cause here I come. Got the drive in the heart. I don't know where to start. I can never blend in.
Shalom, both sir. What's going on, Big? What's going on, Bruder? Mama Mavis. I'm just getting back in. I had to do some running around this rising, so I'm getting my thoughts back together, zoning back in on the lesson. Yeah, let's get it.
When you see the truth, you can never blend in. They can walk in the chaos, but you are not like them. Hey, when you see the truth, you can never blend in.
Y'all shalom, Taylor. What's going on, sis? Hope you and Bruder Rise doing well in the fam. Great to see you. Tell my brother I said what's going on.
That's forever. I can't be like the rest. Set me apart. Yeah, let's go.
All right. Oh no, of course it's gonna be a commercial. But as that commercial's running through, yeah, but this is gonna be our second song, and then we'll get into it. Make sure I grab my Apocrypha real quick. We're gonna be in the Apocrypha today. And in between the scrolls, well, it's all the whole scroll, but you know, we're gonna be bouncing around a little bit today. No pun intended, because I've already been doing that today. But praise Yah, He has it all in His will. He has it all in His will.
Yeah, it's always been the truth. We just gotta open our eyes. It's time to wake up. Yeah, hey, Yahuwah over everything. Hey, Yahuwah over everything. So you better know it now. Loyalty, it won't stop. I proclaim my allegiance to the Most High. Let's go. Yahuwah over everything. Hey, Yahuwah over everything. So you better know it now. Loyalty, it won't stop. I proclaim my allegiance to the Most High. Okay, I'm standing on business. You know I'm being authentic. Time to speak the truth, even if many don't get it. Heard too many lies for too long. I listened deep down to the core. Always felt something was missing. It was eating me up. I can no longer pretend. I'm sick of playing this game. It had to come to an end. Finally, I heard a voice. I started making a change. I started yelling.
There go my sister. What's going on, Shantae? Minister Shantae. The way of purpose going on, love.
No more distractions, and it's no more fear. I'm breaking out of the confines. Yeah, I just had to elevate my mind. Everything's looking better, and I shine. No denying that I know it's my time. Yeah, Yahuwah laid the path. I just had to follow suit. Wanna know if I'm speaking the real? I got the proof. Yes, I'm certain. Yes, I'm confident. I'm absolute. Ain't no telling all the plans that He has for you. Go, Yahuwah over everything. Hey. Yahuwah over everything, so you better know it now.
There goes my other sister. What's going on, LaCrystal? Great to see you.
Let's go. Yahuwah over everything.
Hey, Auntie Michelle. Auntie Michelle. Did you do that on purpose, sis? Oh, we're gonna pray for you, sis. I got you.
Nothing greater, time for you to do it major. I just wanna elevate you, wanna see what you were made of. This world is very broken. Yahuwah brings protection. Don't fall for anything less. Don't you fall for that deception. The world will try to play you, but you cannot accept it. You yelling out Yahuwah, so unapologetic. There's nothing more important.
Hey, LaCrystal, did you mean to send a guest request? I mean, you know what? You could pray us in if you want. Oh no, you took it back. No, it's there. Yeah, just let me know.
I'm talking about a purpose. Yahuwah in the mind and keep Him in the heart. Don't sit up on the sideline. It's time for you to start. Hey, we gon' win. Yeah, we gon' win. You know where I get my power from.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hey, we gon' win. Yeah, we gon' win.
Yeah, intercede, whatever that prayer is, we're gonna pray in anyway. So, yeah, prayerfully, whatever it is, it'll be revealed to you, sis. Power of prayer. Salam, Minister Akita. How's it going, sis?
My allegiance to the Most High.
I got you.
It's real as I can put it. Yahuwah over everything.
I got you.
To the end. And it's only the beginning.
Aman. All right. Oof. Let's get into it, fam. Let's get into it. So it's been a rising. Yes, Yahuwah over everything. Yahweh over everything. I found my boy right here is called PTT Music. I made a post and the song came up. And I was like, yo, I like this. Yeah, I got you, sis. I'm learning how to do this TikTok thing a little bit. But I heard this song and I was like, you know what? We're going to play that to bring it in. And I was riding to it, rushing back in from where I had to do this rising. Safely driving back in. But, yeah, let us pray. We're going to pray it in. You can see the theme's going to be the rope has gone after the bucket. Yah Shalom, big brother Darius. What's going on, King? Malachi. And we're gonna say a special prayer for Pastor Kofi. For those that know Pastor Kofi, it looks like I'm pretty sure everybody in here. Yeah, it looks like everybody in here knows he got into a minor accident. Um, with some minor injuries. He's fine. He's gonna be back on the live tomorrow. But we're gonna lift our brother up in prayer. No matter where we're coming from with it, right? Picking up what I'm putting down, we're gonna put him up in prayer. And then get into it. And carry on y'all's will. As our brother rests for the day. Yes, Yahweh, we come before you right now and thank you for calling us today for a purpose, for your reason, for your way, and in your way we will walk. I want to first start off by lifting up our brother Pastor Kofi in prayer. Thank you for your protection over him and his family with that accident that he got into. Just glad to hear that he's okay. And may he continue to rest. No matter if he tries to get up and move anyway, may he continue to rest so that way he's able to do your will willingly. Because, as you say, we have to get our rest as long and work at the same time. And just thank you for the connection of family, for the way of your way, and for your voice that we do hear, for your avak that leads us down this path of righteousness. And as we get into the lesson today, I pray the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in your sight. That way I'm able to hear what Ravak has through you. And Tada Abba. Tada Abba. Asham Yahava. Asham Yahashpai. Asham Ravak HaKodash. Aman, Aman, and Aman. All right. So, fam, here we are yet again on another Thursday. On another Thursday. Great to see everybody in the room. As we get into the lesson today, I love my illustrations because I feel like they help get the lesson in mind across. They help settle in what's really edifying for the walk, right? And the theme for today is the rope has gone after the bucket, right? Salam Abu Yas Lily. How's it going, sis? Big sis, great to see you. And we're going to start off in Jasher. We're going to start off in Jasher 53. I put the scriptures up today so it's easier to walk with us, walk with where we're going. So prayerfully that helps assist, no matter where you're coming in on the lesson. But yeah, talking about the rope has gone after the bucket. Because many times in life, right, it's great. I learned to, because last week we were talking about every day is moving day. So with that in mind, you got to make sure that your ear is in tune with Yah too, right? So I want y'all to also, as you go out through this week and through next week and from really the time on forward, keep in mind that ear to Yah, that voice in your head that has tone that nobody can hear, but you can hear, that's usually right. Listen to Ravak and how she leads you. Sometimes we had to go to the wilderness. Sometimes he's telling us to drop it. Sometimes he's telling us to get out the car and go. Sometimes he's telling us to sit and listen. Go out in nature. Ground yourself. The closer you are to nature, the closer you are to his natural creation. Because nature seems to be the only thing nowadays that's really, well, let me not say that. But nature is definitely one of the remnants of what his original intent is, right? That's how we learn these lessons. That's how I get these lessons. Just like the birds out, that's one of my favorite ones. The birds don't have an alarm clock, but yet they wake up every rising at the same time and chirp, chirp, chirp away, go right to work, right? These are great ways to really hear what Yah has for you in wherever you are on your walk. Amen. So we're going to hop in with the theme again, live in the city. That's all right. Go for a walk. I mean, shoot, when I get up, well, actually like Big Bruder, when he does his lives, I walk around the apartment complex about 5 to 10 times. Well, I'm dragging it, but about three to 5 times. But just to walk, look up at the sky, what is it? They say if you look up in the sky for a minute straight, just standing there looking at the sky, you'll feel a lot better just after 1 minute of staring at watch the clouds. You know, don't look into the sun, but watch the clouds, man. You know, Yah is with you everywhere, so you don't have to go far to see him, right? But you got it, you got it, and you got fam around you to help you out too, man. Um, I'm on. I'm on. Somebody needed to hear that too. I needed to hear that out loud to myself. But yeah, we're gonna start in Jasher chapter 53. I'm gonna kind of start a little bit before that in Jasher 51. I'm gonna read a little bit. I'm gonna go to Jasher 52, read a little bit, and then we're gonna zoom in on Jasher 53. And right now, where it's talking about is, remember when Joseph or Yasav was sold by his brothers, out of jealousy, right? Out of worry, out of not seeing Yah's plan and moving off of fleshly cunning, right? And Joseph, Yasav, being protected, he was just fine. He was just fine. We're going to pick up here in Jasher where the brothers come because there's a famine in the land and Jacob sends them to Kemet, to Egypt. They see Joseph. They don't know it's Joseph, right? Yeah, classic story, right? We already know where we are. And the thing about Jasher gives a lot of the meat that they cut out because of Genesis or Genesis, the genealogy of a people, right? They cut out Jasher because it takes out a lot of the historical parts of our family, of our lineage, Yashrael, right? I'm going to start in Jasher chapter 53. And this is when they come the first time, and Yasav seizes was it Simeon, right? And then we're gonna get to the part Benjamin. They bring back Benjamin and everything like that, and how it all comes together. Sorry, there's a call coming in. I hope that's not interrupting anything. No, it's do not. All right, great. I'm on. All right. So let's start reading. I'm gonna go to Jasher chapter 51. 51. We're gonna start at verse 39. Jasher chapter 51. We're going to start at verse 39. I'm going to read down to about verse 46. Yeah, down to 46. So Jasher chapter 51, or Yashar chapter 51. We're going to start in verse 39. It says, "And Joseph and Yasav said to them, Seize this man, and confine him in prison until his brothers come to him. And Yasav's valiant men hastened, and they all laid hold of Simeon to bind him. And Simeon gave a loud and terrible shriek, and the cry was heard at a distance. And all the valiant men of Joseph were terrified at the sound of the shriek, that they fell on their faces, and they were greatly afraid and fled. And all the men that were with Joseph fled, for they were greatly afraid for their lives. And only Joseph and his son Manasseh remained there. And Manasseh, the son of Joseph, saw the strength of Simeon, and he was exceedingly angry." And we're going to stop right there. So we could also see how we are all family at this point. Because remember, Joseph, while he was in Kemet, in Egypt, he ended up getting to know his wife and having family there in Kemet. And that's how you can see we're all together. Even though people try to separate us, we do have different beliefs, right? With Ishmael and things of that nature going back, but we are all family because remember, all of them was in the Exodus with us too when they left, right? So let's keep going. Just a little side note. Yeah, and Joseph and his son Manasseh remained there, and Manasseh, the son of Yasav, saw the strength of Simeon and was exceedingly angry. Oh, it's going in and out again. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, before we keep going. Sometimes. Okay. All right, cool. Yes, Joseph was before Moses, brother. Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna keep going. It might be because my phone's on do not disturb, but yeah, I don't know. But we'll keep going. All right, bet. And oh, you might have to scroll out and scroll back in because, as things get more known about going live constantly, how things get messed with a little bit. So that might be what's going on too. But yeah, we're going back in. We're going back in. All right. And Manasseh, the son of Joseph, rose up to Simeon, and Manasseh struck Simeon with a heavy blow, with his fist against the back of his neck. And Simeon was stilled of his rage, and Manasseh laid hold of Simeon, and he violently seized him and bound him and brought him into the house of confinement. And all the sons of Jacob, or Jacob, were astonished at the act of the youth. And Simeon said to his brothers, "None of you must say that this is the striking of an Egyptian, but it is the striking of the house of my father." And after this, Joseph ordered him to be called, who was set over the storehouse, to fill their sacks with corn, as much as they could carry, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for the road. And thus he did to them. And Joseph commanded them, saying, "Take heed, lest you transgress my orders to bring your brother, as I have told you," talking about Benjamin. "And it will be when you bring your brother here to me, then I will know that you are true men, and you will traffic in the land, and I will restore your brother to you, and you will return to your father in peace." Amen. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. So the brothers get sent away from Joseph. They're going back to get their brother Benjamin, as was told by Joseph, right? And now we're going to jump in Jasher chapter 52. When they tell Jacob or Jacob, and of course, oh, it's all right, sis. Shalom, shalom. Great to see you, big sis. And this is where, they leave. They tell Jacob that they had to bring Benjamin back. What's going on, Pastor Don? Shalom, shalom. They had to bring Benjamin back. Of course, Jacob is very weary about this and basically says no, right? So we're going to jump into Jasher chapter 52 now. And I'm going to pick up about verse 5. And it says, "And Reuben said to his father, Jacob," right? "You will off my 2 sons, if I do not bring your son and place him before you." And Jacob said to his sons, "Abide here, do not go down to Egypt, for my son will not go down with you to Egypt, nor be oft like his brother," because he's thinking that's what happened. He's not really listening to what the sons are saying. And Judah said to them, Yehovah said to them, "Refrain from him until the corn is finished." Because remember, they went back with provisions from Joseph or Yosef. And Judah's basically saying, "Hey, we're going to wait until we run out again, and then we're going to have to go back anyway. And we're going to bring Benjamin with us then," right? It says, "Refrain from him until the corn is finished, and he will say, take your brother down with you, when he will find his own life and the life of his household in danger from the famine." Right? We're still tracking. So we read where Joseph held on to Simeon, told his brothers, "Go get Benjamin." Jacob said, "No, you're not taking Benjamin." Joseph or Jacob said that you're not taking him down there. Judah said, "All right, well, we're just going to wait for our father to calm down. When we run out of corn and everything like that, because there's still a famine in the land, we're going to have to go back anyway," right? So, boom, we're going to jump down to chapter 53. Basically, that's what happened. They're taking Benjamin back to Kemet now. They say Egypt, but it was originally Kemet, right? Chapter 53, we're in Jasher 53 now. And we're going to read all the way through. So that's where the notes is. Yeah, it picks up there. All right. And it says, "And the sons of Jacob," I'm going to start using modern terms now, just to make it easier. "And the sons of Jacob rose up and took Benjamin and all of the presents, and they went and came to Egypt. And they stood before Joseph. And Joseph beheld his brother Benjamin with them. He saluted them, and these men came to Joseph's house. And Joseph commanded the superintendent of his house to give food to his brothers to eat, and he did so to them. At midday, Joseph sent for the men to come before him with Benjamin. And the men told the superintendent of Joseph's house, concerning the silver that was returned in their sacks. And he said to them, "It will be well with you. Do not fear." And he brought his brother Simeon to them, as he said he would. And Simeon said to his brothers, "The Lord of the Egyptians has acted very kindly to me," because now they still don't know this is Joseph, right? "He did not keep me bound, as you saw with your own eyes. For when you went out from the city, he let me free and dealt kindly with me in his house." Because remember, Joseph knows, but they don't know this is Joseph yet. And Judah, let me put this to the side. And let's see. Yeah, and Judah took Benjamin by the hand, and they came before Joseph, and they bowed down to him to the ground out of respect. And the men gave the present to Joseph, and they all sat before him. And Joseph said to them, "Is it well with you? Is it well with your children? Is it well with your aged father?" And they said, "It is well." And Judah took the record which Jacob had sent and gave it into the hand of Joseph. Yeah, exactly. And Joseph read the letter and knew his father's writing, and he wished to weep. And when he went into an inner room, he wept a great weeping. Then he went back out, and he lifted up his eyes and beheld his brother Benjamin, and he said, "Is this your brother of whom you spoke to me?" And Benjamin approached Joseph, and Joseph placed his hand on his head and said to him, "May Elohim be gracious to you, my son." And when Joseph saw his brother, the son of his mother, he wished to weep again. And he entered the chamber and wept there, and he washed his face and went out and refrained from weeping, and he said, "Prepare food." And Joseph had a cup from which he drank, and it was of silver, beautifully inlaid with onyx stones and bdellium. And Joseph struck the cup in the sight of his brothers while they were sitting to eat with him, and like proposing a toast. That's what he means by striking the cup. And Joseph said to the men, "I know by this cup that Reuben, the firstborn, Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun are children from one mother. Seat yourselves to eat according to your births." And he also placed the others according to their births. And he said, "I know that this youngest brother of yours has no brother, and I, like him, have no brother." Salah right there. This is where we get into the rope has gone after the bucket. He's trying to get them to see something. He's setting it up. "He will therefore sit down to eat with me." And Benjamin went up before Joseph and sat on the throne. And the men beheld the acts of Joseph, and they were astonished at them. And the men ate and drank at that time with Joseph, and he then gave presents to them. And Joseph gave one gift to Benjamin, and Manasseh and Ephraim saw the acts of their father, and they also gave presents to him. And Osnath gave him one present, and there were 5 presents in the hand of Benjamin. Excuse me. And Joseph brought them out wine to drink, and they would not drink. They said, "From the day on which Joseph was lost, we have not drunk wine, nor eaten any delicacies." And Joseph swore to them, and he pressed them hard, and they drank plentifully with them on that day. They said, okay, we will, because you asked us so sternly. And afterwards, Joseph turned to his brother Benjamin to speak with him. And Benjamin was still sitting on the throne before Joseph. And Joseph said to him, "Have you begotten any children?" And he said, "Your servant has 10 sons, and these are their names: Bela, Becher, Ashbal, Gera, Naaman, Achi, Rosh, Mupim, Chupim, and Ord. And I called their names after my brother, whom I have not seen." Talking about Joseph. And he ordered them to bring his map of the stars before him, whereby Joseph knew all the times, right? Because remember, Abraham, right? He was very in tune with the constellations of the skies, right? He was very in tune with nature. So Joseph was taught this as well. So that's also how you know that the family of our family is in Kemet, is in Egypt, and how they knew so much, because they were taught so much by Joseph as well. Like, we are all family different in beliefs, but knowing that there's one righteous way of Yahweh Alachim. Shalom, brother TJ. Our Father's peace be upon you. What's going on, brother? Pray all is well. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on today. I'm pretty sure what's going on today, but we might have to move it outside just in case. I might have to get off this Wi-Fi too. And he ordered them to bring the map of the stars before him, whereby Joseph knew all the times. And Joseph said to Benjamin, I have heard that the Hebrews have acquainted with all wisdom. Do you know anything of this? And Benjamin said, Your servant is also knowing in all wisdom which my father taught me. And Joseph said to Benjamin, Now look at this instrument. Because he knew too, right? We all knew these things in common. He said, Now look at this instrument and understand where your brother Joseph is in Egypt, or Kemet, who you said went down to Egypt. He's like, look for your brother that you said went down to Egypt and you haven't seen him again. And Benjamin beheld the instrument with the map of the stars of the heavens of the Shamayams, and he was wise, and looked therein to know where his brother was. And Benjamin divided the whole land of Egypt into 4 divisions. And he found out that he who was sitting on the throne before him was his brother Joseph. He then caught, oh, this is Joseph. He put 2 and 2 together, as we say. And Benjamin wondered greatly. And when Joseph saw his brother Benjamin was so much astonished, he said to Benjamin, What have you seen? And why are you astonished? He's making a little jokey joke. He's like, what? Why is your face looking like that, man? What you see? And Benjamin said to Joseph, remember, they're on the throne together, so the brothers can't hear them right now, right? And Benjamin said to Joseph, I can see by this that my brother Joseph sits here with me on the throne. And Joseph said to him, I am your brother Joseph. Do not reveal this thing to your brothers. Behold, I will send you with them when they go away, and I will command them to be brought back into the city again, and I will take you away from them. And if they dare their lives and fight for you, then I will know that they have converted from what they did to me. He's trying to see if they really caught on and really learned from the fact. Yeah, see? Really learned from the fact that what they did. The rope has gone after the bucket. We're getting there. It's not really, he wasn't really being smart when he says this. When we get there, it's more so he wants to see if his brothers have learned the lesson. Do they remember the well that they truly drank from? You know, do they remember, do they now know that what they did was messed up, right? Are they apologetic? Will they repent? Will they turn direction? Then I will know they have converted from what they did to me, and I will make myself known to them. And if they forsake you when I take you, then you will remain with me, and I will wrangle with them, and they will go away, and I will not become known to them. This is the test. Trying the spirit by Ravak. Exactly. Same principles, same structure they were raised on from their father, from their grandfather, from their, all the way back to Noah, right? He's trying to see if they realize this. So we're jumping down now to Jasher chapter 54, and we're going to read verse 21 to 22, and we're going to go into the lesson for today. Amen. It says, and Joseph answered and said, if all the kings of the land should assemble, they will not be able to take your brother from my hand, because he held on to Benjamin, right? Benjamin knows what's going on. The brothers don't know what's going on yet, right? And Joseph answered and said, if all the kings, if all the Malachites of the land should assemble, they will not be able to take your brother from my hand. And Judah said, what will we say to our father when he sees that our brother does not come with us, and he will grieve over him? And Joseph answered and said, this is the thing you will tell your father, saying, the rope has gone after the bucket. The rope has gone after the bucket. Basically, that's that. You tell him that's that. That's all there is. What's going on, brother? Ruel, what's going on, brother? And that's where we are with the lesson today. The rope has gone after the bucket. All this that Joseph was led to set up, right? All this that had to happen to see. Oh yeah, I just got off yesterday. I had to hit North Carolina. Not too far, not too far. It was great. But yeah, that's where we are right now. The rope has gone after the bucket. With this illustration, we could kind of see, and prayerfully, it'll edify you, and you'll remember this for the week, right? So when Joseph said this, after he was acting like he was going to keep Benjamin realizing through the work of the constellations and the stars, because remember, Abraham was in tune with that. That was taught through Isaac. That was taught to Jacob. That was taught to his sons, right? Joseph ruling Kemet. He was married there, had children there, taught them this. That's how we're all on the same knowledge. There's one true way. They would have to come and learn from the ones that stayed with the father, right? Stayed with Jacob. But we all are our family. That's why we say Ishmael is my brother. Even before that, right? And even when we got was the Exodus, even with the Exodus, that's why all those people at Kemet, we're still intermingled with them, right? So remember, we are all family. It's time to get that thinking process out of our minds of separation. We had to be the example to bring all this back together, because the rope has gone after the bucket. We could say, some say Joseph was trying to get smart with his brothers. Like, oh, the rope is going after the bucket, right? When you first read this, right? But really what he was trying to say again was to push his brothers to see something. He was trying to prevent this break of a bond from happening again. The generational curses, right? But he knew many things might cause discrepancies. But he wanted to make sure this was strengthened. He wanted to make sure that they converted from this way, so that way their children would not see this and the children's children would not see this. But unfortunately, when they went back, the children did see this. So we could see how these things become generational because of actions. That's why our actions are very important. We had to be the remnant that changes all this back, because the rope has gone after the bucket. It's important to keep the love towards others, right? Yahava Ahava, or Ahava Ahava. And keeping love and law and authority in reverence to Yahava, right? Ahava at Yahava, right? The love that's had towards Yahava and his law and his love, right? We're drinking from a well. We're supposed to be drinking from the righteous waters. But when we move different ways, what's going on, Brother Warren? Great to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a great while. There's many different wells, but we're supposed to be drinking from the righteous waters. This lesson right here, trying the spirit, because Joseph knows that we're better than this. We're better than this, right? Every day is moving day, because the rope has gone after the bucket. We're getting all this back together, fam. It's very important, right? It's looking like out here nowadays, when I look around, because I was looking at the news, scrolling through a post on Facebook, and I mean, there's so much madness going on. I'm gonna leave that there for TikTok purposes, but it's looking like a whole lot of enough is enough. You know, enough is enough. We got to make our community stronger. We got to get back to what we really are supposed to be doing. We got to get back to the storehouse. Looking at Pastor Don, I was talking to him yesterday. We were talking about the storehouse, right? And how the cirque, turned it into some theater, right? It's supposed to be a place where we're supposed to have, clothes, linens, foods, canned foods, canning, right? We've got to get back to our original intent, right? The rope has gone after the bucket. It's time to really get these people to wake up, right? Because I know everybody in here, we're on it. We're on it, but we got some work to do. It's looking like it's giving a whole lot of enough is enough, as they say now. We've got to detox the minds, detox the spirits, keep our minds on community work, so that way through our example, they're able to see the righteous intent. There's choices, there's chances, and there's changes. There's choices, there's chances, there's changes. I don't remember specifically, Pastor Don. You might have to type it in there, or if you can at the end, if you got a second. I know you got a busy day, but yeah, not exactly, not exactly. Give me a few hints. I can fish. I can bring it out. But there's choices, there's chances. What's going on, Kobe? What's going on, brother? And there's changes. So now let's get back to the rope has gone after the bucket, right? We can see that, oftentimes in this example, in this picture, it's how many wells are in modern days, right? But back in those days, a lot of times you kind of just carrying that rope and bucket with you, trying to get water from wherever you can, right? So keep that in mind. You're working with your own rope and bucket, right? Not knowing how deep you have to go to get to the source. Not knowing how deep you have to go for those choices, changes, and chances, right? And when things get too heavy, you might just lose the grip, right? Over time of dipping the bucket into the wrong water sources of the world, of the cosmos, of those systems, right? And at times the right ones, right? Over and over, that rope became weaker. But it's okay, because it's always Yah's plan for you. He has a new rope. He has a new bucket. Matter of fact, with that same beam, remember we were talking about the weaver's beam? That's not a weaver's beam, but the righteous beam is still there for you to tie back to. Salah. Going deeper into the calling every day causes more tension to pull back that rope, right? To pull that rope back up, causing you to go to deeper depths of righteousness. But that's okay. Now we're going to get to the motivational part, because out here it can get discouraging. We can go through a lot of things because the adversary sees us doing this thing. The adversary sees us going about this way. And the one thing he wants you to do is be led by the smoke cloud. Whatever you're filled with is what you're led by. So if you're filled with worry and stress and not having that sober mind, free from worry and stress, it happens. I get worried, I get stressed, I'll think about some things, but I'm quickly, like in an instant, that Yahweh doesn't need our money, he has to be better managers. Might gotta help me out a little bit more. You have to at times mend the bucket so you can use it to its full capacity. Exactly. There's some patchwork again. We could correlate it. There might be, depending on the material, like this one is wood right here. You might have to nail some boards back in place with the same provisions from Yah, right? Over time, because we had to learn this thing too. So that same bucket and same rope that we were using in the wrong water sources, in those deep wells of righteousness we've had to reach to get the righteous water out of, work has been done. There's some wearing and tearing that's happened. There's some repairing that we have to go to Yah for. Those choices, chances, and changes, depending on how quickly you go to Yah, will give you the change that you're going for. The choice, the chance, the change. You know what I'm saying by that? But it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay when you're out here and the adversary sees that you're doing this thing and he throws something at you. Through the waves of the air, through however it is, through a person that might be weaker in this spiritual battle that has been overcome by a spirit that now you're approached with, right? But you have to endure these things. Make that choice to keep enduring, even though out here is giving a whole lot of enough is enough, right? Even though out here looks real crazy. People are following what they make up in their heads as the way, that's the righteous way to go, without going to the scriptures, right? We're getting all this back together. The rope has gone after the bucket, as Joseph said. So the first scripture we're going to hit is the famous Sermon on the Mount. Matthew chapter 5, that Sermon on the Mount. I mean, it speaks for itself, literally. All those red letters. So let me grab the other part of the scroll, or the Savar HaKodash. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 5. And we're going to read down to verse 12, right? Matthew chapter 5, it says 1 through 8, but we're going to go down to verse 12. We're going to start actually in verse 3, right where Yehoshua gets to the nitty gritty. Because right here, it starts with blessed are, right? Or barak are, barak at, right? Because for what comes after is the blessing. For what comes after is the guarantee. For what comes after is the vision, right? The more in tune part, the extended part of the vision, right? The vision, not division. The vision, right? You're getting closer. We're getting closer. We're doing the work. The rope has worn out, right? But we've gotten that new rope. We've gotten that new bucket. We're still over the righteous waters. Like Joseph was saying, the rope has gone after the bucket. He wasn't being smart. He was trying to push his brothers to see something, to see if they converted back to the way that they're supposed to go. So that way, again, through generations, because children act like by what they see, right? Ya Shalom, Hawanda, how's it going? We rebuke the enemy that's trying to keep his word from going forth. In Yehoshua HaMashiach's name, Aman, in that authority. Because his work will go forth. I don't care what he tries to do to the family, what kind of inner wars he tries to make between us. We're still going to do this work wherever we go, wherever you're led. Keep the Radah Shamayim, the kingdom of heaven, in mind, right? Even if nobody's listening, Yahweh sees you working. You planted a seed, the Zarah, right? At Radah, the seed of the kingdom. He sees that. So now Matthew chapter 5, that part. Matthew chapter 5, verse 3, it says, blessed or barak are the poor in spirit. For afterwards, right? For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. For theirs is the Radah Shamayam. The battle is won. We just have to keep choosing Yah daily. Exactly. This is a daily thing. Every day is moving day. You see how everything comes together? I'm seeing it now. But, Ravak be Ravaking. Right? It says, blessed are the poor in spirit. For afterwards, theirs is the kingdom of heaven. For theirs is the Radah Shamayam. And the poor in spirit, right? That's that humbleness. It's not being woe is me. It's that humbleness. It's that, like we were talking about before, being closer to nature, being in tune with nature, how we can hear things and see lessons and speak parables. That's really, like, literally, that's how these lessons come, because I'll just be outside vibing, just staring out. That's kind of how I was a little bit late, because I wanted to just pray with y'all, get my thoughts back together. Wusa, right? Grounding yourself. The closer you get to creation, the closer you're getting to Yah, in a sense, right? That's not the end all be all, right? But the closer you're getting to nature, because right now, like I was saying before, nature is the only thing, is one of the few things that are still connected to original intent. Like with the birds, again, I'm telling you, this bird analogy is going to be in your mind. The birds have no alarm clock. They don't look at their phones and set their time for 5:45 a.m. Like, they don't do that. But they wake up at the same time every day. Exactly, getting that sun. I'm talking about that sun. That's why we walk. I make sure I walk, because I work overnight. I toil overnight, and I don't get much sun. And that can do a lot with my mental, because sometimes I'll get a block, and I'm like, yeah, Thursday's coming up. I ain't got Nathan. But it's going back in nature, because that's where you're getting closer to the original intent, right? And with the birds, the birds wake up, do their thing every rising, and they go back the same. There's also birds that do work at night, right? I believe nightingales. I could be wrong, but there's different birds, because I'll be toiling, and there'll be birds running around in the parking lot, and I'm like, it's nighttime. It's about 1 a.m. early rising, and they're still going. And by the time the rising comes and the sun starts coming out, they're gone, and the other birds come in. So they have a shift of things too, naturally. Papa G, shalom, Papa G. So yeah, back to Matthew chapter 5, verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for afterwards theirs is the Radat at Shamayim, the kingdom of heaven. Blessed, yes, singing Yah's song, the original song. Come on now. Blessed are they that mourn, for afterwards they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for afterwards they shall inherit the earth. Yeah, very inspiring, very inspiring. For they shall inherit Arat. Keep the faith, keep pushing, keep going. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for afterwards they shall be filled. There are 4 main families of birds ranked by activity. Okay. I'm a mental note, lock that in. So that's what I'm talking about, Brother TJ. I didn't even know that. That makes sense, though. 4 main families of birds, 4 corners, the wind directions. Yeah, see, rabbit hole. That's just off the fly. No pun intended. Um, Blessed are they, Barak are they, which do hunger and thirst after Tabah, after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure, the sincere in heart, for they shall see Alachim. They shall see the righteous direction, the Alav, Lamed, He, Yad, Mem, right? Those characters. Yeah, iron sharpening iron. Tada, brother. Y'all laughing at me, laughing at myself. I'm telling you, this is how my mind works. This is how it goes inside of Stephen's mind. Verse 9, Blessed, Barak, are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Alachim. The Malachites and the Malachaches, the male rulers and the female rulers of the righteous direction, Alachim. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the Radah at Shamayim. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely, in deceitful fashion, for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad. All this, for after this, great is your reward. That is renewed. Pastor Kofi was talking about yesterday, I believe, one of these lies I was catching back up on. Tada, Bruda. One of these lies I was catching back on, he was talking about renewed. How it's not renewed, but it's new. It's still the same. It's still new in the future. It still was new then and will continue to be renewed as it still is new, right? I pray that makes sense, because I had to replay that like 2 or 3 times before I caught it. These things guaranteed the reward is still always new, but it's not new because there is no time. Yahweh is not entrapped in time. Yahweh is the same today, yesterday, always, and always. That's why the scroll is there. This is it's really interesting when we think about the Savrar HaKodash, the Holy Scriptures, because it's one of the, I mean, it's the only timeless scroll. There's those things and these things happening repeat itself. No other book does that, if you think about it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. This is again off the fly. This is not written. But no other book does that. That's what I mean by new. It is not old. It was new then. It's new now. It will be new later. And the things that are coming together are the renewal process, right? Praise Yah. Nobody can do it like that. But rejoice and be exceeding glad, above gladness, right? Way outside of that. For great is your reward in heaven, in Shamayim. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. The same happened to them. Omnipresent truth. There we go. There we go. There we go. Omnipotent. Omnipresent truth. Let me read that correctly. So there's a before, but after. There's a beforehand and there's an afterhand. And these choices, chances, and changes, right? All these together have to be remembered with this illustration of the rope has gone after the bucket. The rope has gone after the bucket. You have to be willing to suffer. Suffering is a work, right? Yah has trusted us with the pain that he doesn't trust everyone else to go through. He trusts that even though we go through these things, we will remain tied to the righteous direction. Can't everybody handle this weight, fam? That's how important we are. Many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen. Many can't handle the choices, chances, and changes. Many can't handle the pushing and the pulling, the back and forth, the ups and downs, the sitting ups, the being knocked downs. Many people fall to the wayside, right? This is a narrow path. There's a chosen, there's a remnant that's being called because we are able to handle the pain that he doesn't trust everyone else to handle. Not yet. They had to see the right thing. They had to get that foundational work. Remember how this all started with working, tearing down that old wall and building that righteous foundation. That's what that wall is, the theme for this year. That foundational work. Because of the choices, chances, and changes that we endure. And we're not always right? I'm not always right. I am corrected often. Sometimes I don't hear the correction immediately. That's some things that come with Stephen. I'm working on it. But yeah, again, he will sit me down. I'm telling you, so many things will happen. And I'll be like, man, what's going on? And then quickly, just that quick, apparently I need to sit down somewhere. Apparently I need to go outside to some nature, look at some clouds. The other day I was looking at the trees and the wind going through the trees, right? And I was noticing there was just one tree. There was one tree that the wind was affecting. And I said, well, how does that work? Surrounded by all these trees, the wind going through, right? This is what I'm talking about. Example. All these trees, this wind going through, and there's only one tree that's being moved by it. And Yah said through Ravak, because sometimes even though a tree is planted around a lot of trees, when those winds come from the four corners, when those lushes come, there's only one tree that'll be able to hear it, but that one tree must speak it to the other trees that aren't able to hear it. You know? Just like that. Just like that. Because naturally in nature, the wheat are separated from the tare. It's a natural thing. Right? There's reasons why parables are based on nature too. A lot of them. That's how close to creation we must be. Just some helpful hints, you know. These are recorded. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. The Ravak just be Ravaking, man, because again, this ain't written. I mean, a lot of it is. I have notes, right? All things green grow in the what? Okay. Yeah, like reaching out towards the sun. Okay. I see you, sis. Just like that. That's what I'm talking about. Edification. So watch the works of Yah. Watch the works of Yah. Just like that. Let's go to Psalms chapter 2. Psalms, the second division of Psalms. We're going to keep on walking. Keep on walking. So we're going to Psalms chapter 2. We're going to read the whole thing as we keep walking. All right, Psalms chapter 2. Where we at? There we go. Oh, side note, I wrote this too. I grow with water and sun just like the trees. Boom, bam. There we go. I'm talking about, like, what was it, last week in Sirach 39? It talks about how we get it close back to the original intent, right? We start speaking to each other in parables, right? Eyes to the east. See, you know? Like many times, like Yehoshua, they said, why do you speak to us like this? It's not meant for everybody to understand. It's for those that study and really see the righteous direction, for those that really hear the righteous words, for those that can teach these things. Because the rope has gone after the bucket. So the second division of Psalms, right? What you want to do also in studying, see what these Psalms are written, when these are written, and what David is going through, or whoever is, because it's David, Solomon, Nathan the prophet, they say seer, but Nathan, he had between him and Gad, a lot of things were interpreted, right? Come on now. Download. Oh, praise. So Acts chapter 4, verse, y'all don't have to turn there, but Acts chapter 4, just to show the process of how I study, right? How I'm led to study. So Acts chapter 4, verses 24 through 26. Okay. And it says, and when they heard that, they lifted up their voice to Elohim with one accord and said, Adonai, thou art Elohim, or Yahweh, thou art Elohim, the righteous direction, which has made heaven, Shamayim, and earth, Arat, and the sea, and all that is in them is. And then it says, verse 25, who by the mouth of thy servant David has said, why did the heathen rage, and the people imagine vain things? Again, another example of how this will always stay new. The reference to David all the way in Acts, from way before in the second division of Psalm. You see? Sound like my brother Four Corners. You see? So the second division of Psalms, we're going to start at verse 1 and read on through. All praise. Why do the heathen rage, or the other nations rage? This is the question David is asking. Why do the heathen rage, and the people, those people, imagine a vain thing? Those nations, because a people is a nation, right? Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth, or the Malaches, Arat, put themselves in their own standard. And the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Basically discard the law, our laws, because it's burdensome to them. Basically, again, snap the rope of the bucket, of their unrighteous waters, right? Discard what we're doing, telling them, hey, you should probably go over here to this water because this water is filtered. This water is righteous. This water is of original intent, right? And here's the answer. He that sitteth in Shamayim shall laugh. The Adonai shall have them in derision. Now that word derision, break down these words. The ION is the act or a process, right? Of being under. Not under the righteous standard, but under their own standard. Derision, like de-rise. The opposite of rising. You get what I'm saying? So you could kind of break down words like that to see the intent of this too. Just random. Not random, but edification. Verse 4, he that sitteth in Shamayim shall laugh. The Adonai shall have them in derision, separation from his intent. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure, to trouble them, to confuse them, almost like that Tower of Babel, because of his sore displeasure, how heavy it is on his heart. Etymology, to die. There we go. Google it or research it. There's better righteous platforms to research through, but that's for another day. Buddha TJ, I'm telling you, that man is very wise. Yet, verse 6, yet have I set my king upon the holy hill of Zion. Yet have I set my Malachi upon the holy hill of Zion. The whole, W-H-O-L-E, the whole, holy, right? Hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. Yahweh has said unto me, thou art my son. bar at Zion. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. Side note again, the italicized letters, those that don't know just yet, that means that that's added to the scripture, because it would really read, ask of me, and I shall give the heathen thine inheritance. Right? But you see how those words are in there to help people really get the intent of what's happening, right? But just a little bit more edification. Also in the Apocrypha, and reading the Apocrypha, those double brackets, that also means that it was added to that. It wasn't really original to it. Just some more edification, helpful study tips. Verse 8, we'll read that again. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of Arat of earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them into pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, O ye malachaches, male rulers, female rulers, my sisters, brothers, brooders, sheep brooders, akotis, acheats. Be wise now, therefore, be instructed, ye judges of Arat. Serve Yahweh with fear, with respect, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way when his wrath is kindled. We're going to pause right there. When it says kiss the Son, that's referencing the forthcoming of the Messiah. That's what that means. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry. That's in reference of Jeremiah 23, verse 5. Again, look these verses up. I'm going to flip there real quick. We're going to finish out Psalms chapter 2. So Jeremiah 23, verse 5. Y'all don't have to turn there, but if you want to, you can. Again, these will be recorded just in case those who want to live accordingly to Yah's word dwell among those who don't. Exactly. The wheat and the tare. Some don't want to drink the water, but it makes them sick, and they don't realize that it's the water. But we'll keep drinking the righteous water, and they'll see that we're okay, and they might say, hey, where'd you get that water from? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Verse 12, kiss the Son, lest he be angry and ye perish. So Jeremiah 23, verse 5, it says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will raise unto David, a righteous branch, and a king, a Malachi, shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. So back to verse 12, his wrath is kindled, right? Verse 6, and in his days Judah, or Yehovah, shall be saved, and Israel, Yahashrael, shall dwell safely. And this is the name whereby he shall be called the righteous Lord, our righteousness. That's how he should be called, because he's in, again, or you can type it up in Google, but again, he is of the Father. So, like when he said, when you see me, you see the Father, as in the way, as in the walk. So the Malachi, the Adon, are of our righteousness. Adonai of our righteousness. the righteous direction, the intent, the Alachim, if you will, but not Yahweh Alachim, because there's one Yahweh. You get what I'm saying? How these are broken down? Yeah, it's on your phone for free. How it's important to see, like this many people argue, like, Yahashua is Yahweh. He is of Yahweh, but, we know this, but just some side notes, how my brain goes, how my mind is led. But back to Psalms 2, verse 12. It says, kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, and his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed, Barak, are they that put their trust in him. Barak are they that put their trust in him, in his way, because he walks like the Father. So be thankful, right? Basically what Divide is saying here. Be thankful, for in order to know peace, Yahweh must show you a storm. SALAH. In order to know love, He must show you discourse. He must show you disagreement for you to see love. In order to show you community, he must put you in solitude for a reason. That was the agony of Yosef or Joseph, what he went through mentally, in order to get his brothers to truly appreciate the harvest of the righteous waters. For his brothers to really appreciate the harvest of cultivation, of tearing these things down that need to be torn down and cast it aside, right? It makes you realize, through all these things, we realize where the desolation is in our lives, because we're not perfect yet. We're striving to be perfect. Perfect is a possibility because our Father is perfect. He helps us realize the desolation in our lives, what needs to be worked on, how the rope has gone out to the bucket, the rope has snapped sometimes, how we need to see that, all right, we need to go back here and figure out something. We need to reposition because apparently something ain't right over here. Something is missing some water. I need to go back to the well, the right well, and pour some righteous water on these plants, right? That grow in a Y. But it's okay. We have a new rope, a new bucket. We are to be affectionate in our relationship with Yah, recognize our proper place before him, rejoice, find joy again in that, because you will find joy back in that. All praise. I'm on. The changing point, right, is in a moment, just as the birds, right? The changing point is in a moment, a snap of a finger, a snap of a rope. Need some more water. Go get it. Show others how to get it. Edify each other, right? Going back in, thinking about that bucket, right? That bucket like in that picture, being used to be lowered down in a well, the rope and bucket, right? To fetch water from well to well. Sometimes the wrong one, many times the righteous one, but sometimes the wrong one. Because we're traveling, we're nomadic, we have to go to these lessons. We're led to these lessons. We don't just get lessons in one place. We help others be edified through our lessons that we learn from others. There are many great teachers, including y'all. Y'all teaching me as I listen to y'all, and how Ravat speaks differently to everybody, but it all comes together for the same righteous purpose. In a surrendered place with trembling. Exactly. Fear and trembling. Respect. Right? And the rope comes untied after a while too, possibly. Or maybe that knot gives. And the bucket falls to the bottom of the well. Boom. Like there goes that, right? That's basically what Joseph was saying again, or Yosef was saying again. The rope has gone out to the bucket. When Judah was like, well, what did we tell our father when we can't bring Benjamin back? Well, tell him the rope has gone out to the bucket. You know how that could kind of seem kind of smart, but I'm going to start using that in my etymology, in my vocabulary. I'm going to start telling people the rope has gone after the bucket. Then gives them the itch and ear to, where'd you get that from? Well, I'm glad you asked. Right? But basically, again, that's what Joseph was meaning when he was going back and forth with Judah. Right, to see if their hearts really changed, if they really converted from what they did to him. Because again, they didn't know, as we saw in Jasher chapter 51, 52, 53, and 54, in between there. We saw that Benjamin was shown because Benjamin found out because, again, Joseph, Yosef, he was like, hey, look at this map. Because, the constellations and things like that, right? Because, again, Abraham was very in tune with it. Abraham was given the Hebrew language and given to him in Jubilees 12, right? Abraham was already in tune with the constellations and the stars. That's how Kemet or Egypt learned a lot of things. Because, of course, Joseph taught them because he married into them, right? So they're learning these things too. Were they close to the way, like through Jacob? Like Isaac, Isaac was? No, but they're still our family, and they still have righteous knowledge, and we can still learn from them, though they are to sit at the feet of us and learn from us as well. But we are all one family, right? So we got to stop that division, even with our Muslim brothers. The rope has gone after the bucket with all this. Don't be so quick to stick your nose up at them, because they are our family too. Just know that. Saying all that to say this. That's what he was trying to get them to understand. That's what he was trying to get them to understand. Jeremiah 18:6. Yeah. Jeremiah, we're gonna go there later too. But yeah, that's what he was trying to get them to realize, because with Benjamin, and how he showed Benjamin, and Benjamin was able to see that Joseph was there through the constellations and things like that. He was able to see the lesson. Benjamin, the young one, was able to see the lesson that his brothers had to see, because he had to make sure that they still knew. Oh yeah, there's always going to be much to learn. There's always much to learn, because the rope has gone after the bucket, as he said. There was so much that what Benjamin saw that his brothers did not see was that there was a converting that needed to happen, so that way it didn't keep on going through the generations. That's essentially our job, or our work, is to make sure this doesn't keep going through the generations as we learn, as we step in, as we teach these things. Try the Spirit, by the Spirit. We can't help Arat. We can't go against this system by just staying in one place. Take your time, right? Take that 15, 30-minute break, right? Every day is moving day from last week. Take that break, but get right back to it. And let these people know that the rope has gone after the bucket. But let's keep going. All of that to say this. Now it's the time. It's looking like again, enough is enough out there. It's time to show them how family really works, what this thing is really about, how this Sarvar Hakodash, the righteous holy scriptures are really supposed to be interpreted. Get right back to it. Indeed, every day is moving day. Yep. Time waits for no one. Exactly. And there's a salah in that. Time, we're in time, so that way we're able to learn things to get closer to the Father, which is outside of time. So time literally waits for no one, because that's not what time is for. Salah. I'm gonna let y'all go down that road before I go too far down that rabbit hole. I'm telling you, the way my mind works, Yawesome. I gotta pat myself on the back. Tada Abba, all praises to the Most High. But that's how our minds work. Just like that. Speak to each other in parables. Example, Exhibit A. Right? But now it's time to show everybody how this works. How we do this right here in this live. We got to show them how to do this. Right? They're waiting for this. They're lost without this. Obviously. Right? And now this part right here, my sis, Minister Shantae, this part, I got this from her. I didn't tell her I was going to use this, but since I'm about to use it, she said, talking about us being like the prophet or prophetess, the Achayat, the Bruda, she Bruda, etc. Akoti, Achayat, right? We have to walk in him so he can walk in us. We have to walk in Yah so he could walk in us. So that way the Ravak can keep going through us to the people that needs to be touched and reached. We had to abide in him so he can abide in us. The prophet or prophetess has to speak the word of Yah, and therefore must feel the heart of Yahweh. Basically, my heart has to stay in righteousness so I can speak righteousness for these people. My heart has to stay righteous because I have righteous works to do. We have righteous works to do. I'm just saying me because, we apply these things to ourselves. These lessons come from Yah, but it's not to speak down on anybody. It's just like, hey, this is what I learned this week type of thing. Or, hey, this is what I learned today, right? And your righteousness, again, comes from the wilderness. It comes from going into the wilderness, right? Me and sis were talking, like, sometimes you got to get out the car to go into the wilderness, because that vehicle ain't gonna go through the wilderness like Pat and Turner can, like your ones and twos. That, my bad, that was a little that's what we say out here. But like the you can't go through the wilderness with that car. You can't get that far with that car. Only your feet can get you there. You got to walk this thing. The wilderness is a place where you're closer, where you find rejoicing, where Yah has you to learn something. It's not a place to be afraid of. So when you're reading about the wilderness, we spent a lot of time in the wilderness. How many lessons were learned from the Exodus to the Jordan, to through the lands of where we're supposed to go, to the promise? Wasn't Yah with us? Literally the pillar and the cloud of fire, right? Wasn't he with us in direction? Didn't we get laws? Didn't we get commandments? Wilderness is not a scary place. It's not a place of worry. It's not a place of dismay. It's not a place of, it's a place of separation of the wheat and the tare, from Kemet going through the Red Sea, the waters being parted, all the way to Jordan, and those waters being parted for the intimate circumcision. Because again, everybody that came out of Kemet, we were still mixed into them, and they didn't really truly believe like we believed, right? Not going too deep into that. But a lot of people didn't really believe the Most High Yah in the righteous direction like they should have. All of us as a whole. All of us as a whole. One more time. All of us as a whole. But there was a specific chosen people that made it through to going through the Jordan, because the waters of Jordan were parted too, as you can read going into Joshua. Those waters were parted too. They came out on the 10th day. The 10th day would be the day that you would choose the lamb before Passover. So they came out of the waters on the day you would choose the lamb, and they had Passover when they crossed through the Jordan. That whole process going over and over and over and over again, because the word, the Savar HaKodash, is a constantly new thing. Those things and those lessons still are happening to this day, just like in the days of Noah, right, Khan? Just like in the days of Noah. This is the only scroll that does not get old. This is the only scroll that is literally timeless. There's no other book that does that. Again, find out if you can. Tell me if I'm wrong. But there's a reason why this is exactly what it needs to be. There's a reason why this is real. That's what blows my mind sometimes, because people are so afraid and like resist this so much. But when this is the only thing that you could literally go in every day, especially with Job, even in all the wickedness, you stayed righteous. That's just just a little thing right there. The #1 bestseller. Come on now. Like, we got to get these people to realize this. The rope has gone after the bucket. When that rope goes after the bucket, right? It's time for repositioning, remaking, tying yourself back through Tabah, through righteousness. Also, remember not to be ashamed because the rope went after the bucket, right? You're not the only one that has happened to. After a while, that rope snaps sometimes, and you're given the right rope and the right bucket, right? And after the rope goes after the bucket, usually what's left up, right, is what held the rope and bucket there in the first place. Example in that picture. Usually it's that beam. That's what they able to hold up that rope and that bucket and that water. That would be Yahweh. He's always there. Again, even through the wilderness, he's always there. All praise to the Most High. You got to let the potter work. We're going to go to Jeremiah 18 as we start bringing this thing to a close. What is it, 1:30? Ah, that's decent. That's decent. We're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 18. Let's see. Not the pocket for the Bible. Jeremiah, well, the 66, because, obviously they cut out some things to keep us deterred from what we were supposed to know. But we're bringing this all back, Amon. We're bringing this all back. That's again why I like coming out of Joshua, so we can really see and how to reference, and we see the stories that line up in Genesis through Exodus all the way to Joshua. Yeah, because the Jasher ends roughly about where Joshua picks up from Moses. Yeah, from Moshe. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that's why I like coming from there too, so we can also see how to walk these things through. So I give this. I challenge y'all to do this. As you're reading through the scrolls again, going through Genesis, go to Jasher and relate exactly what's happening in the 66 that they took out, and in Jasher what's really going on in the background. How about that? That's my challenge for y'all. So that way we can keep on teaching these things righteously to those that need to hear, because the rope has gone after the bucket with the nonsense. Literally the things that don't make sense. There's so much missing. So let's start there. As they say nowadays too, let's start there. But anyway, Jeremiah chapter 18, we're going to read verse 1 through 6. Again, right here, Jeremiah, or Jeremiah, right? He did the same thing. He went into this place and saw a potter working with his work, right? And he heard a lesson from Yahweh. So that's what I mean, like looking at things is how Yahweh literally speaks to you, right? And these things that go on in nature, things that go on in life through people, through actions, through words, through shows, some of them try the spirit, etc. But let's read Jeremiah chapter 18, verses 1 through 6. It says, the word which came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying, arise, and go down to the potter's house. So Jeremiah heard the inclination, like, something's telling me to go down here to this potter's house, right? That voice in the head that has tone that nobody else can hear but you, right? It says, the word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, SALAH, saying, arise, go down to the potter's house, and there I will cause thee to hear my words. You get what I'm saying? What's understood doesn't have to be explained. So what did Jeremiah do? Jeremiah said, then I went down to the potter's house, and behold, he wrought a work on the wheels. And the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter. So the potter made it again. Another vessel, another rope, another bucket, another box. Because you got to move. So let's read verse 4 again. It says, and the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter, was messed up, right? So he made it again, another vessel, and it seemed to buy. It seemed righteous to the potter to make it. Then Jeremiah heard that voice again. It said, then the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, O house of Yahashrael, cannot I do with you as this potter? Can I not give you a new rope, a new bucket? Can you not let me show you what to do? Can you not hear me? Saith Yahweh, behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are ye in mine hand, O house of Israel. But not everybody gets that. Again, the rope has gone after the bucket with the nonsense. We're going to get this back together. Let the potter work. When that rope goes and it snaps, don't try to catch the rope. It'll burn your hands. Yahweh is trying to snatch things out of your life. And my recommendation, just saying, don't hold on to it when he yanked that rope. There is no tug of war with y'all. There's some wrestling that you can with these other spirits, but there's no tug of war. You ain't winning that one. You'll get an L every single time until you learn to let go and let Yah. Come on now, Ravat. Until you learn how to let go and let Yah. All praise. And when that bucket hits the bottom of the well, just think about that. Should you go down there and get that bucket? Do you think it'll be all right? Do you think you'll be able to make it up out of there? Or should you just get another bucket to try to fish that one out with? I mean, if that's how you're led to do that, you know. Just side note. But don't get stuck at the bottom of the well. SALAH. So in closing, as we're closing all this out, as we're bringing all this together, there's a new rope a new bucket. We've had to fix what's broken on the bucket, like Abba Yas Lily was saying earlier. Possibly the brace, possibly the rope, but that beam is still there. Your Hafa is still there, willing to be there to hold you up through these trials. And all that takes is a work of faith, acts of faith. That's what we show these others as we are a people. We show these other people because we all are originally a people, right? As we show them again what they may have seen to forgotten, faith. Like Joseph showed his brothers yet again what they seem to have forgotten with saying the rope has gone after the bucket. He showed them faith. Converting back, he said, I know what y'all did. It was messed up, bros. Like, that was wild what y'all did. But I want to make sure that y'all don't do that to anybody else. Salah. By doing this as well, and doing this work in this system, in this cosmos, I truly have no fear. Let go or let Yah, right? Let him do his thing. Let him do his thing. But you keep doing yours. You keep listening to that voice. You keep looking at things that he's showing you in life. So that way you can give these lessons. So now, like I started with off in the beginning, fine tune that ear. Get to listening, get to looking. Quick to hear, slow to speak. That too. So you can start giving these lessons to others so you can hear what he's saying. Like Jeremiah heard what Yah was saying. That voice was like, go down to the potter's house. And what Jeremiah do? He went down to the potter's house and he saw the potter working and he just stared. He's staring and he's looking and he's like, huh. And then those righteous words start coming through his mind. Then he starts hearing what Yahweh has him to say and do. He's like, huh, just like the potter's working, he remade that. So say that potter's Yahweh and that clay is us, as we know already through what's been said through our ancestors. So, right? That's what he's doing. That's what we have to do too. Just like Yehoshua came and said, I have not come to destroy the words or off the words of the prophets, right? They're teaching us these things in this timeless, always new Savar Hakwadash. As these saras or these seeds are planted, and as those trees and plants grow up into that Y, and how the wind can hit one tree and not the others, because it's going to take that one tree planted amongst the others to let the others know that the wind is blowing just off the sight of that tree. You see how y'all understood everything I was saying, but I was speaking to y'all in parables. It's lit, right? So don't have any fear. Don't be dismayed. It's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. But we're family. There's others to reach out to all through this chat. That's what makes us leaders. All this today, long story short, leaders, malakahes, female leaders, male leaders. This is what we do. This is a call to action. Yet again, just a reminder, not telling nobody what to do, you know. But just if I could drop this a little bit too, remove the what ifs and get with the what is. Remove the what ifs, all those worries, and get with the what is written. Right? Remember, you're undefeated with the things that could have took you out. Aman. Salah. All that great stuff. But that's all I have, fam. That's all I have. That's all I was led to bring forth today. It's been one of those days, I mean. Oh, that's all right, brother. I got, matter of fact, text me, I believe. You got my number. I recorded these. It's going to take a little while to upload. I was telling sis yesterday, because for some reason, I'm always on the move, because by Friday evening, because I'm able to reserve Shabbats on Saturdays, so I keep that Shabbat. Even though we know, like, the moon cycles, leads through our months and things like that. So Shabbat changes. But I reserve Shabbat on Saturdays. So, Yasalam, Bruder. I I Thursdays tend to be busy for me a little bit, and my first days off. So that way by Friday evening, because evening to the rising starts the day, so we start our day with rest. So Friday evening going into Saturday, I want to make sure that I have everything done. So I got today and a half to work with. So it'll probably be uploaded tomorrow completely. Um, but I'm gonna start it today. Prayerfully, y'all willing, however he has this day to go. But yeah, I got you, brother. I got you, brother. It's great to see you too, man. Great to see you too. Um, But yeah, Big Bruder, you got anything you want to chime in on as I get these music selections ready and stuff like that to close it out? Or if anybody, we'll do every time it's for me to listen to time. Oh, I got you. I got
Anybody
you.
else? We cool. You did great. Y'all some word as usual. You know, you know me. I'm yeah. you know when I got something to say, you pretty much you know me. Yeah. I'm just glad to be a student today, sir. That's it. That's all.
I'm on. I'm on. A great walk.
I'm
Yeah,
oh man,
you doing
great
live
walking
today?
with you, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, bet.
Yeah, we gonna walk. Yeah, it's nice outside. I was gonna go in the basement, but as soon as you start talking about the walk, the Ruach spoke. I received it. So we gonna we we gonna get up
That way. That's all right. That's all right. So yeah,
that way.
we're gonna do that. So 2:30 Brutus page. He's gonna be on there, Brutus platform. Yeah, 2:30 we're gonna be walking. I'm gonna be hopefully walking. If not, I might have to run around a little bit. I'm moving. I'm literally moving. So I got some stuff I got to make sure are in order. Yes, insist.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm not moving.
you started that motion we was talking about.
Yeah. I'm starting that up today. Yep.
Okay. Say less.
Yes,
I received that. Okay. Yep. I
Yes.
support.
And then sis, I think she's gonna be stretching this out and stuff like that per usual. It looks like she's there, she's here. I ain't gonna put you out there, but I mean I already did, so I'm little bro, so I can do that.
What you said, she in position. She already know. She know it.
Bet
But well, whenever you ready, I'll go ahead and stand up, and then we can pray it out. However you led.
Yeah, we can go ahead and we gonna pray it out. I'm gonna find one of these songs to play. I don't know what it is, but I like my boy right here. I'm gonna play some of his music when we get off here. But yeah, let us pray. Let us pray. Yahweh, we come before you yet again. Just saying to die, Abba, to die for a great word. I love how you had us walk through that and those words that you dropped, and as we learn to fine tune our ear to you through the ways of Arat in a whole, may it be edifying for us, for my family, for my mashpache, for your will and your way. And as we go about our separate ways, I pray for protection again, to die for covering our brother Kofi and his family and the incident that they had. That was only you that had that protection over him and control. And as he continues to heal, may he heal quickly, in your will, in your way. And may he hear your voice to rest and hear your voice to hear what he should be saying and what could come from this. And as he teaches and continues to do your work in the kingdom, just to die for your covering on him. And as we all help edify each other in the way, in the will of your way, just to die. Many barak, many blessings for my family, to die for the protection of the seen and unforeseen things that you protect us from daily. And as we continue to fellowship throughout this day, we look forward to hear you continually talking to us. Asham Yahava, Asham Yahashpai, Asham Ravakak Wadash, Aman, and Aman. So, as y'all know, just go ahead and greet each other with y'all's with the solidarity and everything like that. I'm gonna play this song. I haven't listened to it yet, so apparently it's a good one, a righteous one. It says, "Yahuwah is the heir." Like walking with Adam, walking with the rock in the cool of the day type thing. Let's see. Do. Let me get all this stuff back hooked up. Apparently, as we were talking, and disconnected from the Wi-Fi. But yep. Yeah, putting that solidarity. And we're gonna play. Yeah, who is the heir? Let's see what that was talking about. So I haven't heard it either, so just in case, y'all, it's not me. Don't be blaming me. You about to hear what this one's about. I'm on. Let's see.
House for any reason. Click the button under the...
No. Here we go.
I see you in the night. You're the breath of my life, shining pure and bright. I breathe you in and I breathe you out. It's the air that I breathe. If you turn away from me, he's everything that I need. You're everything that I need. Just the air that I breathe. In the darkest valley, when I can't see my way, you're the air around me.
Ta-da, Papa OG. Ta-da. A great elder of the kingdom.
You lift me when I fall. You're the breath that saves me, and I need you most of all. You're the air that I breathe. He's everything. He's everything that I need. Every breath I feel your love flow through me like the skies above. You're the pulse, the reason I survive. With you, Yahuwah, I come alive. I feel your love flow through me like the skies above. You're the pulse, the reason I survive. With you, Yahuwah, I come alive. Yahuwah's the air. You're the air that I breathe. You're the air that I breathe. Yahuwah's the air that I breathe. Yahuwah's the air. Take away from me and I fall apart. He's everything. He's everything. He's everything everything. It's the air that I breathe.
Oh man, I rock with that one. Tadara rock. Oh man, I missed y'all comment. I was over here worshiping. Shalom, shalom, y'all shalom, fam. Tada, I be y'all's literally. I appreciate you, big sis. For real, for real. Love y'all. Buddha Darius, Dr. T, Way of Purpose, Shalom, love. The Crystal, big sis. Everybody. We all everybody. SJ, my honorable sister, Mama Mavis. Yep, Papa G yet again, big sis, Shantae, Minister Shantae, Minister La Crystal, Doom, all these gifted people in here. Brother TJ, our Father's peace be upon you, my brother. And everybody else that I might have missed. My bad, I had my eyes closed. All praise. Baba Kasha, all praise to the Most High. But that's it, that's all. My phone is on. Oh, I still got some charge. All right. I'm going to go out. Remember, Big Bruta at 2:30. He's going to be, 2:30 my time. So 1:30 his time. I believe that's how that goes. He'll be on his page doing his thing with the walk. We're going to stretch it out. We're going to walk. We're going to get some vibing in with Yah, in the nature. So when we're doing this, those that are able to make it, pay attention to what's going on around you. Listen to what Yah is trying to tell you. Listen. But yeah, I'm on. I'm gonna leave it there. Love y'all. Yahava, ahava. Until, Dr. T says she's taking the rest of the week off. So, those that's gonna listen to Pastor Kofi, he should be on tomorrow. He should be on in the rising. But Barak Yam, Masha Pache. Love y'all. Till next time. Peace.